Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari, and today I will talk about my 2025 favorites. I always love making this video because it's so cool to talk about everything that was amazing from last year. As always, I will divide this video into sections and I will talk about movies, TV shows, and books. So if you only want to know about one of those things, you can only see that section. But of course, I recommend you to watch the video completely because I will give a lot of good recommendations, honestly. I think in last year's video I talked about the movies first, but this time I want to talk about the TV shows first. The first TV show that I have here is Nadie nos va a extrañar. It is a Mexican TV show, original from Prime, and it really changed my life. I loved it so much. I have it on a video as a recommendation, and I recommended it as a mini series, which is not right now because it got renewed. They actually started filming the second season, and I really want to see what they're going to do with that because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how they are going to continue the story. So I'm very curious about it. But the first season was mind blowing, was amazing. It had just this teenage years charm and it was very innocent. I loved the characters and their dynamics. I think everything was so amazing. The acting was perfect. The song choices, I kind of discovered and rediscovered some music, and just the overall arc of the story was amazing. It is a sad story, and I will say that you can just search for the trigger warnings because not everything is happy and it has very harsh moments and sad and depressing moments. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. But it was an amazing show. I really cannot wait for the next season, but I'm a little nervous because I don't know if it's gonna be as good as the first one. Then I have Cobra Kai, the final season. This was everything that I was hoping it was going to be. I am a big Cobra Kai fan, and I've been putting the seasons in my favorites since I started making the favorites videos. And this time it was the final season. I loved to see how the journey of everyone ended. I honestly loved how this story really said that it was for Johnny, that it was Johnny's story this time. And it really made you see that at the end. It gave us that great character arc and development from Johnny. I just love to see him because he is one of the best characters from the show. And everything had an epic feeling because it was the last season. It was the last time that we were going to see these characters like this. I really, really love Cobra Kai. And I know that it's not a show for everyone, but if you love it and if you have seen some seasons, if you love the characters, of course, you are going to love this final season. It was made for the fans and it was amazing. Very heartwarming, great to watch with your family. Of course, it has some things that are not possible in reality. You have to kind of be in the mindset of this TV show. And as I said before in some reviews, this is like a telenovela. So it has some dramatic moments that can be a little bit over the top and too much, but I just love them. I love this TV show so much. I cannot recommend it enough. It is one of my favorite shows for sure. And it was sad to see it end, but at the same time, it was rewarding. It had to end at some point, and this was a good ending. Black Mirror season 7. This was the comeback for Black Mirror, and I've seen it all over the internet because I know that there have been some episodes that are bad, but not everything has been bad. To be honest, I love some of the episodes of the newest seasons, like season 6 and 5. But I know that that's not the popular opinion, and with this season, they brought back the terrifying truths of reality and how close we are to these stories because that is the terrifying part. They brought a lot of sci-fi elements and the stories were great. They were heartbreaking, to be honest. The first episode was too much for some people and it gives you a lot to think about life right now because it's so terrifying how close it is to some aspects of life right now. Overall, the season was great. I love the actors who were in it. I loved the episodes. I don't have any complaint about this season. It was fun. The complaint that I have is that they bring back some characters from Bandersnatch, and now Bandersnatch is nowhere to be found. Like they just deleted it. I don't know why. I am asking right now to Netflix and Black Mirror to bring Bandersnatch back because it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. It was more than a movie, and I loved it. And I don't know why they just got rid of it. That is my only complaint, but nothing from the season. It's just that reminded me of Bandersnatch because it has Colin in it, and I don't understand why they did that. But overall, I recommend Black Mirror always, but with this season, they nailed it. Now, the next TV show is not my favorite, but I feel like I have to put it here just because I love the book so much, and this is the adaptation that we have been waiting for years. So it is We Were Liars from Prime. I don't know if they will continue the show because they have material to make another season, but honestly, it's not going to be the same as well as with the novels. But I do love the book very much, and I just love to see it now on the screen. I didn't remember everything from the book to compare it fully, but I saw some videos, read some things, and I think it was a decent adaptation. I liked the actors, I had fun watching it. I watched it over the summer, and of course, the story is set in the summer. So, if you want a story about rich people living on an island during the summer, family drama and love, and just this beautiful group of friends, I truly recommend this. And overall, talking about book to TV or movie adaptations, I think this is a good one. So I want to rewatch it soon, but I don't know if I'm in the mood because it's very summer. It screams summer, and right now it's winter, so I don't know. But honestly, I do want to rewatch it this time with my sister to see what she thinks of it. And the last TV show on my list is Wizards of Baking, this time season 2. I loved it as well. I only have one complaint with this TV show, and I think it was one that I shared with a lot of people that also watched it and thought the same. I'm not gonna say it because I think it will be a spoiler, and once you see it on the show, even though it is a reality show, it is kind of a spoiler, and it is a bad spoiler. I didn't like that choice. But other than that, I was happy with the winners this season. I was very surprised with the challenges, they were amazing. And it is just so much fun to watch this with my sister. I think that is the best part of this TV show. I love to watch it with my sister and just kind of relive the magic of Harry Potter this time with this competition. And I usually don't watch reality shows. I don't like them a lot, but this one is a good one and one reality show that I will watch more of. I want a third season and a fourth and a fifth because I think it is fun and it will always be fun. Now let's talk about the movies. The first movie that I have is The Thursday Murder Club. I watched this with my boyfriend and one of my friends, and it was amazing. I was curious about it because I know it is a book, actually a book series, and it was so great. I love the actors, the mystery. It has a good cast, a cozy setting, and just they are so cute. I was all the time thinking of how cute the protagonist was, which I don't remember her name right now, but I will put it on the screen or I will put a picture here on the screen. She was so cute. She was amazing. And I just loved their dynamic, how they worked together, how each had their personality, very distinct personalities, and the whole mystery aspect. I couldn't guess what was going on or what was going to happen. And that was amazing. It is a very cozy film. I think it is perfect for autumn or winter, and it gave me what I wanted from it. So it is one of my favorites. My next movie is Freakier Friday. I never expected it to be this good. I had really no expectations. I also watched it with my boyfriend, and I love the first one, but it has some faults. Like, I don't think it's a perfect movie, but it's so funny and it is great. And Lindsay Lohan is amazing, and Jamie Lee Curtis is amazing. And here, that was true again. They were amazing. The movie was amazing. They added music, of course, because the first one also has music. Everything that I hope they didn't mess up, they didn't mess up. And they added just this great layer of story now with a new generation, but it made sense. At first, I saw kind of the trailer because I don't like watching movie trailers at all. But I watched some of this trailer and I didn't like the premise. I didn't like the fact that they were going to now change bodies not between two people but four people, and it worked. Now that I've seen the movie, I think it works perfectly fine and I enjoyed it a lot. I had a great time, so it is here on my list. The next favorite is Wicked for Good. Of course, this had to be here. I have a video about it. If you want to watch it, I will leave it here on the screen and in the description below. It is my favorite movie of the year. Wicked it is one of my favorite things ever, and I'm not gonna say anything else because I think everyone should watch it. Well, maybe not everyone because not everyone will get it, but you know what I mean. I love it so much. I'm just amazed by the magic and how they look and the actresses and the music. It was a blast. I had the best time watching it. I watched it in English and also the version in Latin American Spanish. Also amazing. Great. Perfect. I just recommend it a lot. I talked about it a lot in that video about the plot and more about the characters and the ending, but I just want you to know that I love Wicked so, so much. And it is my favorite movie of the year. Not every year I say which one is my favorite from my list of favorites, but this time I had to say it. Wicked for Good. It is my favorite movie of the year. The next one is Zootopia 2. I think this had to be here because the original Zootopia movie was one of my favorite movies. I watched it a lot of times and I just loved the dynamic between Nick and Judy. And this movie was great. I think the plot twist was not as good as in the first one, but still, all the characters, the new characters, and the settings, and just overall the story of the city. Because we explore the story of the city and the animals that we didn't see in the previous movie, which is great because I know people were wondering about that. Like, where are the birds and the snakes? And now we are going to see that. And I am hopeful that we are going to have a third movie from Zootopia. And I am so, so happy about that. I really, really liked it. I had a great time. I saw it in the movie theaters, and I just cannot wait for it to be on Disney Plus. The next one is Eternity. It is a movie full of fantasy and love and what if. And essentially, I think it makes you really think about why will you spend your life with a person? Like, how would you pick your person? And it has a lot of twists and turns and dramatic moments and moments that will make you cry. I liked the acting and the setting also. It was very interesting. It was explained in a good way. It was not too much information, but you understood perfectly well how the world worked. And it was a very interesting premise. I think if the afterlife is like that, I would be okay with it, honestly. But also, it makes you kind of fear the eternity, but only if you are with the wrong person. So it really makes you think again about your person and how you choose your person and what is really love and what does it mean to be in love with someone and to want to be with them, with that person specifically for the rest of your life, because that will be your eternity. But this concept is taken on a very sci-fi fantasy level and it works. The ending was so beautiful because it makes sense. It makes sense. That was the obvious ending for me. It had to happen like that. And I cried a lot, so I know that it was a great movie. And the last movie on my favorites is Elf. Believe it or not, this is the first time that I've seen Elf ever. I know it is a Christmas classic, and this Christmas, well, this holiday season, I decided to watch it. Now I get it. I get it. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I get why it is a Christmas classic. It is brilliant, so funny. The actors were great. The way that it ends is so heartwarming and perfect for the holidays, like for you to get that Christmas spirit. It was just great. I have no words. It was so funny. I laughed out loud several times, I think more than twice. So that was a lot. I don't usually love comedies, but I think this one is one that I will add to my holiday season movies list because it is one that I will rewatch for sure. It was amazing. And now let's talk about books. I only have three books because this year was not a very great reading year. I mean, I read these three books that were amazing, but other than that, I didn't read a lot. The first book that I have is Kindred by Octavia Butler. This was a very hard book to read because it has a lot of painful things that you have to read. The protagonist really goes through a lot of hardship, but I think that that's the reason why it is important. I feel like reading it made me see some things with a very different point of view. And that is the whole point of this book for me, at least. I loved the protagonist. She was amazing. And overall, the fantasy aspect of the book is not explained, but I don't think that's the point of it. The point is for you to see and compare. It was very, very scary to see how things were in the past. It was just very scary. And I loved it overall because it is very well written. It has a strong protagonist, it has fantasy elements, and a very dramatic and hard to process message that it was brilliant. I don't know if I will reread it soon because I'm trying not to reread books, but I will definitely recommend it. The next book is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I just love the story so much because it was very quick to read. It had very quirky, curious protagonists. It had a good character development arc from the main protagonist. I wanted to read this book for a long, long time, and it finally happened, and it didn't disappoint. It also has very hard moments and sad moments and tragedies, just like in Kindred, but I feel this is a little lighter on that side. Still, there are a lot of things that were very, very depressing, and I think I cried a little bit on this book. I don't remember, but that's what I remember, that I cried a little bit. I just love the setting and the characters and overall the vibe of this book. I think is more digestible than the Kindred for sure. It is short also, so everything good with this book, honestly. And it has a great message. I really, really liked it. And the last book that I have is Sunrise on the Reaping. Of course, this had to be here. I didn't read the book about Snow, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I don't regret it. I watched the movie and I liked it, but my boyfriend read that book and he liked the book. He said that it was great. So I started reading this Sunrise on the Reaping with him. We read it together and it was a great experience. We finished it when we were at camp. I will always have that memory of us reading in the bus going back to camp. So that also adds points to this book. But overall, the story was great and devastating. The end was devastating. I really don't want to think about it. I want to watch the movie as soon as possible. I know that that's something that I'm looking forward for this year. I'm going to be so excited in November again. And I just love the fact that we have been getting movies from the Hunger Games and then Wicked and then Wicked and now the Hunger Games again every November. That is just a fact that I had to say. The book was great. I had a great time reading it. It took me a while to read it, but I just loved the references and to see the characters that we already knew and how they are intertwined in this story. It doesn't feel forced, it feels realistic. I just loved it. The ending is devastating. If you haven't read it, you will cry, especially if you like the Hunger Games. And I cannot wait to see this movie because I think it's going to be amazing. I think that the Hunger Games movies are just so great and they enhance the books. And that's what I want to see. I'm really excited to watch this on the movie screen. And that's it for my favorites. It is a long video, I know, but I had a lot of things to talk about. Please share with me your 2025 favorites. I would love to read that in the comments. And even more if you have one or two things in common with my list, because I would love to discuss that with you. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching it. Please, if you enjoyed it, give it a like, share it with friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content about movies, TV shows, and books. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.